The federal government has launched a clampdown on the rising use of interest and cash advances after fresh data reveals that over 2.27 billion naira was disbursed under these two expenditure categories in 2024 alone. This figure represents its more than 308% increase from the 556.3 million recorded in 2023. Welcome to Business Point, where we extract the Nigerian economy and the government policies. I am Kike Lomo Okeri. Impress refers to a fixed amount of money issued to public officers to cover routine operational expenses, usually reimbursed quarterly, while cash advance donate funds granted for specific administrative purpose or special project, both of which must be retired with proper documentation in line with the financial regulations. The spending data obtained from the GovSpend, a public finance monitoring platform operated by Budget, shows that 1.19 billion naira was released for Impress and another 1.08 billion naira for cash advance in 2024. This likely prompted new financial directive from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation over the weekend. In two separate Treasury circular dated July 25, 2025, the Accountant General Office announced new restriction placing a quarterly interest ceiling of 700,000 naira for ministers with cash advance limit capped at 10 million naira for special projects. The circular cited widespread abuse, failure to retire fund, and duplication of payment across NDAs and justification for fiscal clampdown. A breakdown of the 2024 Impress record shows that the State House Headquarters Transit account received repeated monthly allocation of 13 million naira, accounting to over 143 million naira for the year. This follows a similar pattern in 2023, while the same office drew monthly tranches summing up to 143 million naira as well. In addition to the State House, the Defense Research and Development Bureau received a series of monthly disbursements totaling 97.636 million naira in 2024. Listed as Office Impress and Staff Grants. The Economic and Financial Commission also recorded three major entries described as reversal related to Impress and Forex replenishment, totaling 954.78 million naira. Other notable allocation in 2024 Impress include 18 million naira to the Federal University of Technology Ikot Abasi for resource verification and 9.6 million naira to the Federal Character Commission for special interest by contrast. Total Impress in 2023 stood at 236.5 million naira, showing a sharp year-on-year rise of over 404% in 2024. Largely driven by recurring allocation and higher volume reversal. The 2024 cash advance data reveals an equal striking trend. A total of 1.08 billion naira was disbursed, up from 319.8 million naira in 2023, representing a 237% increase. Much of the spending in 2024 was concentrated in the Federal Ministry of Youth Development, which alone accounted for hundreds of millions across multiple cash advance lines. The funds were largely tagged for waste management training, mentorship programs, mental health sensitization, World Youth Skill Day event, and other zonal outreach campaigns. For instance, over 29 million naira was issued for youth feeding program under UNEDO initiative. 62 million naira for training youth with disability in the north, and 39 million naira for commemorative event. Some officers spread on the disbursement list up to 5 times, with a quarter raising questions about the enforcement of the quarterly cap and retirement compliance. The State House also featured prominently with allocation including 25.6 million naira for refreshment during the digitization training for 450 staff, and multiple entries tied to retreat honorarium, cabinet purchases, and Workers' Day celebration. In contrast, in 2023, cash advance data was more restrained. Recipients were primarily MDAs such as the Federal Ministry of Police Affairs, the Civil Defense Board, the Office of the Surveyor General, with most payments ranging between 5 million and 9 million naira for physical screening, promotion exercise, and training logistics. Across both 2023 and 2024, a significant share of cash advance and impress were tagged for events like workshop, retreat, awareness campaign, and refreshment. In 2024 alone, the Youth Ministry issued over 10 million naira cash advance for multi-day retreat and zonal campaign. In addition, 22.5 million naira was issued to the State House Medical Center and for laboratory reagents and consumables, and 25 million naira for digital staff refreshment. Some MDAs also listed expenditures such as the purchase of fireproof cabinets, May-Day kits, training surveillance, and retreat accommodation. In its first circular, the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation introduced a new spending control regime limiting the amount of interest that can be assessed by the political appointees and the top civil servants as part of measures to strengthen accountability in public finance management. According to the Treasury Circular, ministers are now entitled to the maximum reimbursement interest of 700,000 naira per quarter. The circular, signed by the Accountant General of the Federation, Samsudeen Ogunjimi, also pegged the limit for permanent secretaries and directors and director generals at 500,000 naira. Directors and head of departments are restricted to 300,000 naira, while heads of state formation and other authorized officers may not exceed 100,000 naira. The circular, which was distributed to principal officers in the presidency, ministries, judiciary, legislature, armed forces, and foreign nations. The move is seen as part of effort to curb the abuse of petty cash system and reduce leakages across ministries, departments, and agencies. In addition, the monetary cap, the federal government warns that all local procurement of goods and services above 1 million naira must strictly follow contract award procedure in line with the Public Procurement Act 2007. Exception will only be permitted in cases explicitly provided by the Act. This, the circular says, is to ensure transparency and proper value for money assessment. The new circular also places an obligation on all self-accounting entities, including extra ministry departments and judiciary, to submit a comprehensive return within 30 days. This submission must detail the voucher used to retire impress issued in 2024 and provide a full list of entitled impress holders and other respective location for the 2025 fiscal year. In a shift from the traditional cash-based system, the Accountant General directed all impressed holders to open dedicated operational banks for the disbursement and the management of impress fund. Monthly reports on the amount paid into this account and how they were retired must now be forwarded to the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. This report will serve as part of the ongoing compliance monitoring effort to enforce the new rules. The Treasury Inspectorate Department has been tasked with carrying out regular inspections across all NDAs during the financial year. Any breach of the regulations, according to the circular, will lead to withdrawal of imprest privilege from the affected accounting officer and the imposition of relevant sanction. The circular ends with a firm directive to all recipients to bring the contents to the attention of their officer for immediate and strict compliance. In the second circular, the federal government reversed its financial control framework for advance issued to public officials, scrapping personal advance and raising the limit for special project cash advance to 10 million naira. The change, which takes effect from August 1, 2025, is part of a wider fiscal restructuring aimed at tightening accountability while adapting to current economic reality, titled Implementation of Revised Limit of Advance Threshold in line with the current economic reality. The circular reflects the approval of the coordinating Minister of the Economy and Minister of Finance. According to the new provision, personal advance have now been abolished. All ministries, departments, and agencies have been directed to stop issuing personal cash advances to staff, a move that shows the government's intention to reduce abuse, duplication, and misuse of public funds. In place of personal advance, the government has retained two categories under non-personal administrative advances. Regular cash advance are now capped at 1 million naira, while cash advances for special projects and programs may not exceed 10 million naira. The Bureau of Public Procurement says the Nigerian Open Contracting Portal has enabled the federal government to save more than 173 billion naira between January and June 2025 by improving transparency and price intelligence in the public procurement. The Director General of the BPP, Dr. Adebowale Adedokun, disclosed this in Abuja during the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Bureau and the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI. He explained that the NOCOPO's enhanced process provide cost-saving equivalent to $155 million and 1.7 million pounds in the first half of the year, freeing up resource for critical projects such as schools, hospitals, and support for small and medium-sized enterprises. Adedokun explained that the MOU would reintegrate NASENI's innovation into the Nigerian Open Contract Portal, ensuring that local developed products such as tractors, tablets, drones, and solar systems are prioritized in the procurement by ministries, departments, and agencies. He stressed that enforcing the Nigerian First policy is aimed at promoting quality and local production, noting that NASENI's products are certified by Standard Organization of Nigeria (SON) and NAFDAC. A joint technical working committee will also synchronize NASENI production timeline with procurement cycle and track implementation. NASENI Executive Vice Chairman and CEO Kali Halilu says the agreement will drive industrialization, attract investment, and give preference to companies partnering with the agency. It disclosed that over 900 firms had applied to collaborate with NASENI in the last 18 months, resulting in more than 50 market-ready products. Alilu added that ongoing projects include a renewable energy park in Kefi and new facilities in Abuja Industrial Park and Technology Village to boost local manufacturing. The MOU between the BPP and NASENI supports Nigerian First policy by integrating NASENI's local-made products in Nigerian open contracting portal, so NDAs can prioritize them in procurement. Recall that the Nigerian First policy introduced by President Bola Tinubu in May 2025 seeks to prioritize local content in all contracts, reduce reliance on import, and stimulate domestic manufacturing. Under the policy, NDAs are barred from procuring foreign goods or service where certified local alternative exit unless they obtain a written waiver from BPP. NDAs have been directed to revise their procurement plans to align with local content requirements. Sanctions for non-compliance include cancellation of contracts and disciplinary action against responsible officers. To strengthen enforcement, the President mandated the BPP to enforce guidelines that favors Nigerian-made goods and service, develop a local content compliance framework, maintain a register of certified local manufacturers and service providers, oversee the deployment and activities of procurement officers across NDAs. An estimated 8.2% of the global population, that is 673 million people, experienced hunger in 2024, down from 8.5% in 2023 and 8.7% in 2022 respectively. However, progress is not consistent across the globe as hunger continues to rise in most sub-regions of Africa and Western Asia across this year's report. A statement published by the Food and Agricultural Organization indicates that the progress as regards hunger being experienced was not consistent. The state of food security and nutrition in World SOFI 2025 report published by 5 specialized agencies of the United Nations stated that the proportion of the population facing hunger in Africa surpassed 20% in 2024, affecting 307 million people, while in Western Asia, an estimated 12.7% of the population, or more than 39 million people, may have faced hunger in 2024. The report also projected that 512 million people could be chronically undernourished by 2030. Almost 60% of these could be in Africa. This highlights the immense challenge of achieving SDG 2 zero hunger, with warning from the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations that International Fund and Agricultural Development, the United Nations Agency for Children UNICEF, the UN Food Programme and World Health Organization WHO launched during the second UN Food System Summit stocktake in Addis Ababa. SOFI 2025 indicates that between 638 and 720 million people faced hunger in 2024. Based on the point estimate of 673 million, this represents a decrease of 15 million people from 2023 and 22 million from 2022. While the decline is welcome, the latest estimates remain above pre-pandemic level, with the high food inflation of recent years contributing to the slow recovery in food security. The statement stated that notably improvements are seen in Southern Asia and Latin America. The prevalence of the undernourished in Asia fell from 7.9% in 2022 to 6.7%, that is 323 million people in 2024. All right, let's take a quick short break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Business Point, where we extract the Nigerian economy and the government policies. Dangote Sugar PLC disclosed that sales to the Nigerian bottling company accounted for 31.74% of its second quarter of 2025 revenue. During the quarter, the company reported strong revenue of 216.2 billion naira, marking a 25.09% increase from 172.8 billion naira in the same period last year. Of the total in the second quarter revenue, sugar sales to NBC contributed over 63 billion naira and were recorded on the sales from Lagos region, the company's highest performing market in Nigeria. According to the group, it generates revenue by supplying unfortified sugar to companies in food and beverages industry as well as the pharmaceutical firm. In contrast, vitamin A fortified sugar is sold to small wholesalers, confectionaries and micro enterprises that form the distribution network for Nigerian retail market. A breakdown of the retail product line shows that Dangote Sugar is packaged in 250 grams, 500 grams and 1 kg size, targeting everyday consumers through various retail channels. Meanwhile, sales to large-scale distributors remained a major revenue driver, accounting for 65% of the group total earning. This strong distribution performance contributed to Dangote Sugar's impressive second quarter revenue of 216.2 billion naira, which helped lift its half-year total to 430.2 billion naira, up from 45.53% compared to the same period in 2024. All right, this is where we draw the curtain on Business Points today. Join me again tomorrow on Global Television, channel 365 on DSTV and 276 on StarTime. To stay connected, kindly follow us on all our social media platforms. Till I come your way again, I am Kike Lomo Okere. I celebrate you all.